Here we go. Got a lot of fun stuff, some not so fun stuff, I guess, maybe, depending on your view, to talk about today. So let me do my best here. My thing's overreacting a bit. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll just do that. So here's what's going on. Donald Trump, as everybody knows, has sued Paramount, the parent company of CBS, which runs 60 Minutes, because Donald Trump says that 60 Minutes deceptively edited that video, or interview, I guess I should say, of then Vice President Kamala Harris before the election. That didn't happen. CBS has, of course, released the full 60-minute segment. It shows that nothing was edited for content. It was only edited for time, which is very common in the news media. Anybody who's ever worked in the news media, even in podcasting, knows that that is what happens. So it came out this week that Paramount actually offered to give Donald Trump $15 million to settle, which is absolutely ridiculous, but he rejected it. Now, they shouldn't settle at all, right? Paramount has done nothing wrong, and this is fairly easy to prove. But Trump's lawyers this week filed in court one of the wildest motions I've ever seen. Because Paramount is trying to get the case tossed out of court because there's no merit, there's no actual injury. And Trump's lawyers said, au contraire, there are totally injuries here. And my client, the lawyer says, suffered, quote, mental anguish and confusion because of this 60 Minutes interview. Mental anguish and confusion. That is their legal argument. Like, hey, he watched it and he was confused and he got angry because he was confused. If we're at the point where we can actually sue television programs for causing mental anguish and confusion, then I hope everybody will join, everybody my age roughly, join into my lawsuit against the TV programs Rescue 911 and Unsolved Mysteries. Because as a child, those caused me a lot of mental anguish and a lot of confusion. So here's the thing. You can't sue just because you're confused. That's not a thing. That's not something that you can do to another person or entity like, hey, I was confused as hell, so you owe me tens of millions of dollars because my tiny brain can't comprehend what you did. All of us would also, by the way, have a class action lawsuit against Fox News. So, there's that. But this is the most insane thing I think I've ever seen, just due to the fact that his lawyers are basically telling the judge, like, listen, his mental state is already, bad. And this particular program caused him even more confusion. He can't handle it. The whole thing just, his head was spinning. So it's on its merits as a legal argument. There is no legal argument there. That's not a thing. But then they went a little further. And they also said that because 60 Minutes aired this interview, it caused Donald Trump to lose business because it made people not go to Truth Social. Again, that's a legal argument, or they think it's a legal argument that they're making there. So they question their client's own mental state, basically admitting to the entire world that already knows it that, hey, yeah, it's pretty easy to confuse this guy. Nobody's counting on him to be the next Nobel Prize winner. He's pretty easily confused. And then they're like, and maybe people didn't go to Truth Social because of this interview. And that is actually not a valid legal argument either, because that is not something that can be proven. You can't prove in a court of law that anyone didn't go to Truth Social because of a 60 Minutes interview. And let's never forget, the whole reason Trump is even mad about that interview, it actually has nothing to do with them editing it. The reason he's mad at 60 Minutes, the whole reason he filed this lawsuit, was in fact because at the start of that episode, they read the emails, showed them on the air, where Trump's people declined to go on the show. And prior to that happenings, Trump had been like, I was never invited. Nobody ever asked me. So 60 Minutes was like, well, we got to clear the air here. We did. Here's the correspondence of your people shooting us down. We offered you equal time. You chose not to. And because they called him out at the start of the program, that's what pissed him off. It wasn't the interview that pissed him off. It was the being called out thing. So that's where we're at. I do love it, especially because these are the funniest legal arguments I've ever seen. And we have seen absolutely some of the most ridiculous legal arguments come from Donald Trump's cases, but this one takes the cake. I mean, them basically admitting that, hey, he's an old man. He gets confused by what he sees in the news media. Therefore, you owe him tens of millions of dollars. And I did see a post on social media that I actually thought was pretty brilliant. It is, why are Democrats not doing the same thing to Fox News, right? Just on principle. Even if you lose, turn the tables and do it to them because Trump's doing it to 60 Minutes. We do know, and this has been confirmed, before a town hall one time, Fox News actually gave Donald Trump's people, a lot of tacos in the chat, I love that for Trump always chickens out. Anyway, before a town hall one time, Fox producer gave Trump's people the questions ahead of time. So that's kind of what he's accused, other outlets of doing with Harris, but Fox News did do that with Trump. Also, not to mention, there was one town hall Trump did, a different one, on Fox News, where they did edit out where the people in the audience stood up and asked questions and said, yes, first and foremost, I'm a big Trump supporter, I love it. They cut all that out so that they could pretend these people were undecided voters, and that is how they aired it. That is how they introduced these people on the air. So Fox News literally did every single thing that Trump is accusing 60 Minutes of doing. And if it's illegal for 60 Minutes to do it, if it's, something they can be sued over, then the Democrats really do need to do that to Fox News. If Trump succeeds with this suit against 60 Minutes, Democrats need to sue Fox immediately. So that's that. A lot of things going on in the chat. Actually, I saw multiple same questions from user The Wolf. Are you from Indisputable? I had appeared on Indisputable with Dr. Ritchie many, many times in the past. And I love Dr. Ritchie. I think he's great. I have not gone on this year. Unfortunately, doing that show takes, yes, I do read Super Chats, Nintendo Gaming Channel. Doing that show takes a very, very long time. It is an hour and a half, nonstop, straight on. And I don't have 90 minutes on any given day to be able to do that, really. So I have not been able to do that this year, unfortunately. They have asked me, and unfortunately I've had to decline. So why are you not doing a proper live stream? This format is generally shorts. I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. That's the answer to that. Captain Swag says, where's Pap been at, Farron? Pap is focusing on his novels. He has stepped away from Ring of Fire, from America's Lawyer. We have a new host, Caleb Cunningham. The show is doing phenomenal with Caleb. He is great. I love him. Great guy, great lawyer. And Pap is, it seems, pretty done with it. So, there's that. And of course, that is in regards, anybody who doesn't know, to our other channel, Ring of Fire. If you're not subscribed over there, I do encourage you, all go do that. So a super chat here from Dr. GTI16V says, thanks, Farron. Shout out to you and Mike P. Nolo BRK. Thank you very much for the super chat. We appreciate it. And yeah, it's been a bit of an adjustment. It's weird not having Pap there to do this anymore, but he's moving on to his new projects. The guy never sits still, so he's always got something to do. He just loves it. Nintendo Gaming Channel super chat, thank you, says, what is your opinion on Johnny Somali, his crimes? I'll be totally straight up, I don't know who that is. I will Google that, but I've never heard Johnny Somali. Is this gonna be something stupid? Did I just walk right into something here? I probably did. Nope, actually it's a real thing. News, okay, nuisance influencers. Thank you. I'll have to look into that. I don't know anything about it, like I said, and I really thought, Johnny Somali, not Salami. Wow. All right, man, I'm struggling today. I really am. Bacon head eating for fun says, you're a great person. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've got, I don't know if everybody notices this fun stuff happening here, these stitches. So I'm a little out of it. I've not had any of my pain meds today, but after this, because this thing hurts like hell. Hollywood Burns says, are you following the Diddy trial? Absolutely not. No. In the grand scheme of things, I do not typically follow pop culture whatsoever. I know who people are, obviously, but when it comes to like the lawsuits and things like that, like with the Johnny Depp stuff, I could not care less. Reed Cataldo says, is Trump evil or incompetent? And to that I say, why not both, right? And I do think it is a combination of both. I think Donald Trump just genuinely hates people. He is evil. He does not care about their suffering. He does not care about any of that. And at the same time, he's also a guy who is deeply incompetent. But it is Dunning-Kruger type. Like, he is so incompetent that he can't even comprehend how incompetent he is. Therefore, he overestimates his abilities on everything. And that's the way it is. So yes, it is evil. It is incompetent. It is the horrible combination of both of them. Moondragon says, Franny Fio does smaller bits for guests. I bet she'd love to have you. That's something actually we've chatted about the few times I have been on with her, in past times, back when she was, a guest host on TYT and I was still going on TYT. She's like, I gotta have you on. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But obviously all of us are very busy. All of us forget things. So, there's lots of things that come, in the way or go and whatever. And honestly, it's difficult for us to make time to do these. I will say, actually, I have not done anybody else's show so far this year. I've been asked a lot. I just unfortunately have not had the time to do it. But I will be going on the Letter Hacks podcast next Tuesday. Letter Hack, insanely talented and smart guy. So I will be going over there. Nintendo Gaming Channel Super Chat, thank you again, says he is a rapist for committed SA at Comfort Women statute representing Korean women and minors being SA by Japanese soldiers during 1900 and 1945. Okay, again, super interesting. I will definitely look into that. Again, I had not even seen anything about it. Typically, if I scroll through a headline and it's not immediately about American politics, I'm going to keep on going because American politics is what I do. It's what I focus on. It's what I talk about every day. So that is where I really, focus my time and effort into, learning about all that. What do you think of Big Gretchen greeting and meeting with him? I think he's about to screw her over, obviously. There is talk that he is going to pardon the people involved in that kidnapping plot. And I think nothing good comes of it. Nothing good comes of trying to make nice with Donald Trump. There is no reason to do it. So I think that was kind of foolish on her part. Baconhead Eating for Fun says, do you think the USA can survive Trump? I want to say yeah. I mean, I feel like we can, but then again, when I look at the fact that it's only been 4 months and some days, and we're already at this point, I genuinely, I don't know. I really don't know. A super chat from Inky Puppy says, you are very amazing. I really enjoy your content. You are very good looking. Well, thank you. You don't have to lie to me, though. I know what I look like. I unfortunately see it every day in the viewfinder of the camera here, but I do appreciate the very kind words. And it is nice, actually, to have my face a little bit more symmetrical than it was, because if you want to know the full story of what happened here, I did do a video this week for members only, just kind of explaining the entire thing. But I will tell you this, if you go back and watch one of the videos from like Monday of this week, and you will see right here, the big gigantic thing that used to be there that is now gone, that's what I had done. Robin Lynn Griffith, thank you for the super chat, says, just for the record, I really enjoyed watching you. Thank you for what you do. Big hugs. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Thomas says, how do you stay sane in today's U.S., Farron? Am I sane? I don't know that I am. I might be losing it. Honestly, like, I may be so insane right now that I'm not even doing a live stream. I'm just talking to my bathroom mirror and making up comments that are coming through. I don't know, man. Like, I might genuinely be crazy. No, I stay sane because... sorry, another comment that was pretty funny in there. Listen, I stay sane through my family, through my pets, my dogs, my cats. Been spending a lot of time in the pool, which I can't actually do now because of this thing, so I'm out of there for a couple weeks. But I zone out a lot. I really do. I'll open Instagram, I will start scrubbing through Reels, and in fact, communicating through Reels is how I actually just talk to a lot of my friends now. Like, we don't even actually talk or text anymore. We just send each other Reels and then laugh and respond at those. So that's a great way to keep sane. It's a lot of fun. And I try to watch funny things. I'm not into dramas. I'm not into mysteries. I'm not into like action movies unless it's Marvel. And other than that, I want to see funny things. I want to watch sitcoms. I want to watch funny movies. I'm not a very serious guy in my personal life. Just got here to find Farron talking to nobody. Well, I'm talking to you guys, reading the questions. It's kind of like a conversation. So, maybe that's considered nobody, maybe not. Nintendo Gaming Channel, again, thank you for another super chat. Says Johnny is African-American, facing maximum 26 years and added to South Korea's SA registry for sexual themed deepfake. Thank you again for this information. This is something, again, I'm not familiar with. So thank you for that. I'm just saying what I heard. Black Cover 95 says, okay, well, yeah, that, oh, no. Okay, yeah, I get it. That's where you came into the conversation. Totally good. What do you think of Jeanine Pirro getting sworn in? It's horrific. I mean, it's absolutely just a nightmare cabinet. First of all, Jeanine Pirro has been out of practice of law for many, many years. Even when she was in practice, obviously through her husband, had a lot of real, their own legal stuff going on. She is not qualified. It's disgusting that we are packing this administration with hacks, conspiracy theorists, Fox News hosts, reality show has-beens from 20 years ago. It's insane. But at this point, it's so insane that it almost just seems like, yeah, that sounds about right. And that's the problem too, is like, we can't normalize this. We can't get to the point where we just start saying like, yeah, well, figures, right? No, we have to stay on top of this. We really have to like be outraged all the time. And I know that's a weird thing to say. It's not a great way to spend your time just constantly being pissed off. But the second we stop that collectively and just start accepting that, okay, well, this is just the way it is, we've lost. And then we lose the country. Like, that's how we lose it, is when we finally just say, yeah, well, the guy's weird, right? He is weird, and I do like that attack, but we can't ever accept it. Dylan Farstveit says, hi, Farron, I love what you do. I have unfortunately single-handedly seen prices increase as a Target team member. Yeah, and it's getting bad. Actually, I use this example a lot, and I'm going to use it again because the price went up the other day. I love to use the little Vicks shower steamers, and I buy them in packs of 12 from Amazon because that was the cheaper way to do it. You know, yes, I do shop at Amazon. Try not to when I can avoid it, but I don't live in a place with a lot of options, so I kind of have to. Anyway, Vicks shower steamers. Used to be able to buy them for 18 bucks, and that was like 3 months ago. Then they jumped up to like $27. A couple weeks ago, they were $37. I checked yesterday, they were $45. And that's just like one of many things, but it's driving me crazy because I really like those things. I like the mint, shower steamers. Just a little bit of personal note about me so you get to know me a little better. And it's really driving me crazy that I can't have them anymore. So now I'm buying like off-brand. I don't know what's in them. Probably shouldn't do that, but I am. From Frumplefeet, sorry, struggled with that name a little bit, says Walmart box fans used to be $15, now they're $27. And we're going to see this across the board, folks. We're going to continue seeing it with more and more products. And here's why. You know, Trump, when he got mad at the reporter this week asking him about taco, he's like, don't you ever say that again. The reason Trump is mad about it is because the Trump always chickens out thing is not just being used by Wall Street. It's being used by the other countries around the globe to avoid his trade war. That they know this. They figured it out. All we have to do is call him up and say like, hey man, okay, we're willing to talk. And then he'll say, okay, I would take away the tariffs. I'm not going to do it on you. I'll give you more days. Lots of days, all the days, the beautifulest days you've ever seen. And then they're like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll be in touch to talk trade with you. Thanks, buddy. He gets played by everyone and everything. Couple super chats coming through here. First of all, Dr. GTI16V, thank you very much for becoming a new member. We appreciate that. Inky Puppy says, on a more serious note, as someone that is autistic and part of the LGBTQ community, this world is scary. It is also, I know for a fact, that you are good looking. Thank you. And listen, for anyone that is not a straight, wealthy, white male, and even that group is, kind of getting theirs a little bit, hopefully soon. Not hopefully, I don't know why I said hopefully, that was horrible. But they're starting to get it too, at least with the trade war. But if you don't fall into that group, wealthy, white, straight male, this is a scary time in this country. Not unlike it would have been 60 years ago, 70 years ago, 50 years ago. So we're going backwards in time. And it is a horrible, scary thing. Finro Striker says, hi from Canada, your voice of sanity in these insane times. Out of curiosity, have you ever considered a collab with Kyle Kalinske or Legal Eagle? I did appear on Crystal and Kyle's podcast a year-ish ago, maybe, something like that. And I do like Kyle. We, have chatted friendly plenty of times. In terms of, collabs, I haven't done a ton of that. Everybody is very busy. It is very difficult to pin anybody down on time. Legal Eagle, I do not know them personally, but they actually come up a lot in our bi-weekly Ring of Fire meetings. So familiar with them, never worked with them. Super chat from KS. Thank you very much for that. We genuinely appreciate that. Another one from Bacon Head Eating for Fun says, do you think Trump will do another election? Do I think he'll hold another election or will he run again? Because I don't know about either. I mean, look, I want to stay somewhat optimistic and say, listen, our country is still going to exist and we're going to have elections, but man, I don't even know anymore. Hollywood Burns says, what are the chances the 25th gets invoked after the midterms? His mandate will be gone and would give Vance a leg up in the primary. Problem is, Vance could do it. Nobody else in the cabinet would. So you got all those other folks that'll sit there and protect him, so J.D. Vance would not have the ability to do it because you got to get the cabinet as well. That is one of the things Trump made sure of this time compared to his first term. Sean Springs says, hi, bro. Is there a tariff on this tip? Peace and love from Canada. We'll be following the plight of your country in our rear view. No tariff on it, but thank you very much for that. And yeah, hopefully you guys are not getting the brunt of it like we are. Another super chat from ex-Army medic. Yeah, that's actually very obvious now that I see that and realize what it says. So I'm sorry about that, but thank you for the super chat. Ex-Army medic also says, just gotta stay fair and it's hot. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But listen, that is about all the time I've got for today. A couple quick things to go through. By the way, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Great way to stay on top of things. And keep an eye on that community tab on our YouTube channel. By the way, another reason to subscribe. I'm going to be doing some Q&As. I've got some vacation time coming up. I've taken a couple weeks off, not weeks back to back, a little in between. So I will be doing a Q&A at some point in there. So I want to get your questions. So keep an eye on that community tab. Be on the lookout for that. Follow me at Farron Balanced on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. You'll see me on Twitter. That handle, that is me. It is inactive. I do not use it. I do not go to Twitter. I do not give a crap about Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, you're following me for nothing. I don't need it. The other platforms, though, Blue Sky, I am active on. Facebook and Instagram, I'm also very active on. Navy Vet for Life just became a member. Thank you for that. And by the way, the memberships that we just opened up a couple weeks ago, early access to every video that goes up. Plus, we're posting a lot of bloopers over there. So if you want to see me just look like a total idiot, that's the place to be. Just get to see all of my mess ups. And as you can tell from me just trying to talk here for 27 minutes, there's a lot of them. And there's a lot more that you guys don't see. But if you want to see them, go over there, become a member. So again, thank you all so much. 4:30 is when we will be doing these live streams. My goal, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Obviously, this past Monday, I didn't do it because it was Memorial Day. I was outside, not paying attention to the time. Tuesday, I was having my face cut open, so I didn't do it Tuesday. I did it today. I'll be back on Monday, 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Skynet, thank you for becoming a member. We appreciate it. So thank you all very much. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next time.